say something. Go up to the mic.
I wrote.
I say something in the mic.
No. Check. Is it working?
I can hear you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Hello. Hello.
Good?
Yep.
So let's go.
All right. So first of all, thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully the sound is good. We had, this is going to be one of our first live shows we're doing, and we're always testing the microphones out. So if the sound isn't good enough, as you hear all three of us, just let us know. We got John and Madison manning the chat and everything so they can let you know. But again, we're going to start a little bit early here. We said we're going to start at 7:15. Got a lot of you here already, so we wanted to begin. So I'm Jeff from Best Price Nutrition. I'm here with Edwin and also with Jordan. Now, if you've ever asked ProHormone questions online through chat, all three of us are probably the ones that have been answering them. You know, the experience, especially of these two with ProHormones, is much further than mine, and we know that you have a lot of questions, so we wanted to bring them here to answer your questions. So Jordan, Edwin, just before we get into it, can we get a background of your knowledge or what kind of lifting you do and that kind of thing?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been with the company for a little over 3.5 years now, so definitely my experience and knowledge of ProHormones, it's one thing that I've really focused on is improving my knowledge with ProHormones, hormones, testosterone. I've taken ProHormones myself, different stacks, cutting stacks, so I've studied based on myself and I've gotten a lot of customer feedback. So based off my, my years of experience through here, I've built up quite a bit of knowledge. I do not so much like powerlifting. I train more of like a bodybuilding style. Competing is something that I would definitely like to do in the future. So definitely stay tuned for that for sure.
Yes, and you're pretty young still.
Yep.
So yeah, he's got a lot of good years ahead of him. And how about you, Edwin?
So I've been with the company for just around 3 years now, almost. But I've been in the supplement industry for 13 years. So, when it comes to knowledge of a bunch of different types of supplements, I've always had a really large grasp of everything. I actually was a high-tech product rep as well. So I was with them for roughly 4.5 years. And obviously, all the ProHormones that are out right now, especially the ones that we have, are all the top-notch ones from high-tech. So, I've been breaking them down for people since then, since I actually first started with them. I've actually tried quite a few of them myself and actually liked a lot of them. In order to actually explain how something works, I like to go based off of actual experience with them. So, yeah, my training style, I very similar to Jordan. I've always trained like a bodybuilder. I did used to compete, competed from 2013 to 2016. I did about 4 shows total. Yeah, since then, just been enjoying my lifting and still trying to stay in somewhat shape.
Yes.
So
yes, he's always got. Well, both these guys have their meals that they come in with. Depending on I guess what your goals for the year are and everything. So, so I'm glad to have both of them here. I've been with the company for about 10 years, and I've taken plenty of ProHormone stacks as well. So hopefully between the three of us, especially these two, we can get a lot of these questions answered that you guys have. Before this show went live, we asked people a lot of questions, so we got quite a few things to get through today. We got these questions, we got constant questions coming in, just with the show today. So if you do want to ask questions throughout the show, you can put them in the live chat in YouTube, which is, if you haven't logged in, you're probably not going to see the live chat, so log in through your Gmail account or through YouTube, and there's a nice lively chat session going on right now where you can post questions, and again, John and Madison will be manning those. Also, there is a link in the description below the video if you want to fill out the form, and that you can click on it, it'll take you to a form, you submit it, and that question will come in as well. Now, we talked about this, but we're going to be doing some giveaways throughout the show as well. So we're going to be giving away a lot of different products, possibly some ProHormones or some PCTs as well. And there's going to be 3 ways you can win. So if we find that we get some amazing questions, and this is going to be subjective for John and Madison, they're going to pick out their favorite questions. Those questions, you're going to win something. We're going to send you something. We got a lot of different products from manufacturers, so you're going to win something. Just filling out that form is going to enter you in to also win some giveaways. So maybe your question sucks, but you're the random person that wins this one of the giveaways. That's going to be you. And finally, for the people that you actually purchase during the show, you'll be entered to win some even better giveaways. So during the show right now, if you go to BestPriceNutrition.com, SupplementWarehouse.com, or My Supplement Store, and you make a purchase, use the coupon code PRO20, so it's PRO, the number 20. You'll get 20% off your entire purchase. It doesn't include like stacks and everything because we already heavily discount those, but everything else is almost everything is 20% off, and that'll automatically enter you into a whole slew of other giveaways. Okay, I think that's a lot. So you guys ready to answer some questions?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to try to get through these so we can get everything. Okay, guys, what is your recommended stack for shredding or cutting, which is usually important during the spring season?
So on our Best Price website, I actually have my own cutting stack. It's the Edwin's cutting stack. I think it's a fantastic one. It's one that I actually recommend to a lot of our customers in the stores as well. Had a lot of great feedback so far, especially from this summer. So it's the 1 testosterone, the Winstrol, and then Decabolin. The combination of the three, there's no water retention, there's no any type of estrogen conversion, even the slightest bit with any of them. So that makes it great when it comes to cutting. At least amount of water retention you can have. The more lean and cut you'll naturally look. Strength will definitely be up there between the combination of the 1 test and the Winstrol. So helping to fill out the muscle while at the same time being in a calorie deficit is a huge thing. So that's my go-to when it comes down to a cutting cycle.
All right. Okay, Jordan. Okay, opposite. What would you recommend for bulking?
There's quite a few products for bulking, but if you want a really good, just standalone product, Sesson 250 is real well. You get 4 different versions of the 4-andro, so that's going to be crucial for building muscle. It's a wet compound, so you might hold a little bit more water on that one, but again, if you're trying to bulk, that's definitely something that you're going to have. It's a little excess weight. Sesson, another really good product is Superdrol. Superdrol is one of our most popular bulking products. It's got a 1-andro, got a 4-andro in it. It's definitely one thing I don't like about it is that it comes in a 21-day supply. So if that's something that you're going to run, you definitely want to grab a few bottles to do a complete full cycle. But Sesson 250 is definitely my #1 recommended bulking product.
And with both these cycles, for cutting or for building, bulking up, how long should they run these cycles for?
I mean, I would with the cutting stack. I mean, I would say up to about 8 weeks,
okay,
give or take. Yeah, I don't really think a PCT is really needed for that one because realistically speaking, like I said, there's no estrogen conversion or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So hopping off it right afterwards, I would say just stay clean off it for a little while, and then before you go on any other cycle. So.
Okay. Yeah. And now, okay, so with that, we got the bulking, we got the cutting. Now, if someone, there's a lot of people that are just getting into ProHormones, and they're worried about, jumping into something that's maybe too heavy for them. So what would you guys recommend for a beginner, just beginning their ProHormone kind of life?
Yeah. I'd say my personal, standalone ProHormone, if you guys just want to dabble in and just try one thing, it would either be the 1 testosterone or the 1 AD. Both of those, they're not too complex. They both have the 1 DHEA compound in them. The 1 AD has less of the amount in there compared to the 1 testosterone. However, you are also getting 50 milligrams of the laxogenin in the 1 AD as well. So it kind of makes up for the lack of dosing you're getting compared to the 1 testosterone. But either one of those two for a complete 8 weeks would definitely be a solid beginner cycle. So
no, definitely, 1 testosterone is our, for sure, most popular ProHormone. It's the easiest one to just start off if you've never taken anything like this before. 1 testosterone, 1 AD, perfect.
Okay, so if someone's just beginning, you recommend maybe the 1 testosterone. How, I think Edwin mentioned 8 weeks for the amount of time. Now, you jump on a PCT after. How long until you can go on another cycle?
I mean, PCTs you really only need to run for 4 weeks, but because of these Prohormones, especially something like a one test, you're talking very minimal to no suppression at all. You could honestly start right after you finish your post cycle. If you want to be 100% safe, maybe wait a couple weeks, but honestly, right after 4 weeks post cycle therapy, if you're ready to jump on the next cycle, you definitely can.
Yeah, I agree with Jordan on that one. I mean, if you're 4-week PCT, take another 4 weeks off, just give your body a break, so that way whatever you take afterwards, your receptors are all clean, they're ready to go to take in whatever other compound you throw in there. So,
all right, excellent. Okay, so another beginner question. Now I know this comes up a lot because there used to be methylated prohormones back in the day that are now illegal. I think it happened back in 2012. I remember that. I was upset about it. But we still do get a lot of questions, especially from beginners. Do they need to take any type of organ or liver support while on prohormones?
no. That's one nice thing, especially with what high-tech's done. They've made all their prohormones non-methylated, so they have next to no effect on the liver at all. We sell a great amount of liver and organ sectors. You can take it as if you want to. It's just like a daily supplement just to keep your liver healthy. But for prohormones specifically, I don't think it's really necessary.
No, I would agree with that as well.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so I think we got a lot of good hopefully the beginners out there are getting some of their questions answered. You worked with high tech for quite some time. The liposomal technology, Cyclosome, yes, I can't pronounce it. What does that mean, and why does that make high-tech's prohormones so much better than anything else on the market?
So the cyclosomal delivery system is a lot to do with the absorbability of pretty much all his tablets, actually. That's one thing that he's actually known for, of what he did. I think it's an extremely smart idea. A lot of times with any other supplements, the way your body absorbs and the way your stomach acids work and everything, your body can actually burn away anywhere between 20 to 30% of the actual product. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, realistically speaking, you're kind of wasting money that way because you're not getting the optimal dose you need with pretty much anything you take. So the cyclosomal delivery system, if you actually read the other ingredients in a lot of the products, it has a form of cyclic dextrin, which is a kind of a carbohydrate or like a sugar, sort of say, basically, that all the tablets are coated with. So that way it actually helps to bypass the gastric system to make sure that your body can actually optimally fully absorb the product itself. So realistically, from instead of burning away 20 to 30%, you're maybe wasting anywhere between 5 to maybe 10% at most. So
you're saying taking a prohormone from maybe other companies, you're not going to absorb as much. You're getting more, of a good dose of the product.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
Which is a good reason to take it then.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down through some of these questions. Again, I'll get to everybody's live questions shortly. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. With high tech just came out with Novadex XT. It's back, and it was gone for a very long time. When somebody's taking a PCT, we're getting a lot of these questions lately. Should I take Arimiplex? Should I take Novadex XT? Should I take both? What's the answer? What's the best answer?
So I think it actually depends on what you actually ran. So realistically speaking, as Jordan mentioned earlier with the Sesson 250, you do get a very, very slight suppression with the 4-andros. So if you are running any kind of wet compounds or a bulking cycle, I would probably suggest doing Arimiplex with those. Mainly because it does have the Arimistane compound in there. It does have the stuff in there to actually help restabilize your natural testosterone levels as well. So yeah, something like a full-on bulking cycle, I would probably stack it with Arimiplex afterwards. Whereas the Novadex XT, one of the main ingredients is the epiandrosterone in there, which is a DHEA sulfate metabolite. So using that just helps to naturally just bring up your testosterone levels. So using that for like a basic cutting stack or even just any kind of general standalone prohormone, that would probably be a good thing for that.
Okay.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Especially, for someone, because we do get a lot of people who do tell us like what they are taking, and for the guys who take, might be taking Testosterone, but they're taking other products as well containing 4-andros. We do have a stack on Best Price Nutrition that is the Arimiplex and Novadex. So if you are combining multiple prohormones with a 4-andro, it might be best to take both products just to help with the suppression and get your testosterone levels back to where they need to be while, supporting cardiovascular health, blocking estrogen, all that good stuff.
Okay. And just to mention, we're talking about Novadex XT. For everybody that's joining us, if you do place an order while you're, through midnight, I think we're doing this, use the coupon code PRO20. You're going to save 20% and you're going to be entered to win. We're giving away probably a few things, and one of them is going to be the Novadex XT. So some of you people that order tonight are going to get some additional bottles in your order when we ship it out. So make sure to use PRO20 with any order that you place tonight. All right. Okay, let's talk about side effects. That's a big thing that people have. Beginners have it. People that have been using Prohormones have it. I still think about it when I'm taking a Prohormone. So I know there's different side effects depending on the products you take. So can you give us maybe on the cutting versus the bulking, what side effects should people look out for?
So the cutting stacks, or any of the cutting Prohormones, I mean, obviously, because you're not getting any water retention, all that kind of stuff, you're drying out your muscle a little bit more. You might want to watch out for like any kind of like joint pain or anything like that. But for the most part, I mean, there's not too much when it comes down to the side effects to these Prohormones, at least. I mean, they've made them a lot safer to take these days, but to be just as effective as some of the old ones, you know what I'm saying? Again, without damaging your liver, without giving you an excessive amount of estrogen conversion, so that you're not, a water buffalo walking around.
Well, what if you turn into a water buffalo? What should they take?
That's usually with anything with the 4-andro, because that's a wet compound, and you might have a little water retention, nothing major, maybe a little bit of acne, nothing too crazy. But the easiest thing you could take is Arimistane. Arimistane is the most potent estrogen blocker that's over the counter. So if a week, 2 weeks into something with a 4-andro, you start noticing little extra water weight, breaking out a little bit, add Arimistane into your cycle for a few days, it should counterbalance, get rid of that excess water weight.
So with the Arimistane, so let's say I'm taking it for about 3 weeks. I notice a little maybe nipple sensitivity, or I'm kind of feeling a little bit more bloated.
Yeah.
Do I take like the 2 tablets per day and take it for the entire cycle, or should I just take it until it goes away? Or what's the best way to, I guess, dose this?
You could start with just 1 tablet a day, see how your body's responding to that. I mean, if you are worried about the water retention with the 4-andros, I always recommend to people to just take 1 tablet during the whole 8-week period.
Okay.
So that way, you're minimizing the amount of effects you're getting from that estrogen conversion, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
And with the acne thing as well, if your body's already prone to having pretty bad acne, you have to remember, anytime you actually like have some kind of even slight alteration to your hormones, that's gonna accentuate a little bit more to so you will see yourself like maybe breaking out a little bit more. But again, if you can get that under a higher amount of suppression from them because they were actual androgen compounds. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's a good. Yeah, the ones back in the day were pretty strong.
Yeah.
And you couldn't take them for as long. I think they were pretty hard on the liver, right?
Yeah, they were extremely liver toxic. Yeah. So.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so we've had a lot of questions. The newest product that came out as Prohormone wise was the Equipoise. What's your recommendation for how to take Equipoise, and why would someone want to take that Prohormone?
Yeah. Oh, well, so Equipoise, essentially is a 1,4-andro, which will convert to Bolderone in the body, and it's definitely a lot better if you're trying to put on weight. It's more of a bulking Prohormone, because Bolderone, for one, is going to increase your appetite. So, especially if you're a hard gainer, you're someone who struggles to put on weight, that Prohormone would probably be great to add. You could stack it with a few things. I would probably recommend Anavar. Anavar would go real well. Dianabol. Dianabol is real great too, because that one will increase your appetite as well. So yeah, Bolderone, increased appetite, good, great muscle mass. It's definitely, I would say, this formula, even though it's very similar to the original, what was it, Equipoise at one point, you get a lot higher dose as far as this one goes. So it's much more effective, I would say.
And I'm going to say, I did try Equipoise for about 3 weeks. Now, everyone here, especially this guy, gives me a hard time about my carb intake and trying to stay lean all the time. Equipoise made me so ravenously hungry every night. It's literally, I would eat dinner, I would get a snack, and then I need like 2 more snacks after that. So if you have a problem with your appetite, I mean, Equipoise, definitely. I mean, I put on some weight, but I was only on it for 3 weeks. I couldn't do it anymore because I was just always hungry.
Yeah.
So
do it.
definitely a good mass builder, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm not ready for bulking season yet.
We're approaching it.
Yes, we
We're
are
getting there.
approaching, but
We're already in it.
it was early.
It's October.
Give me a couple weeks, I'm gonna start my bulk.
All right. Okay, so Arimistane, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Let's say somebody has already experienced like Gyno, which if we can explain what Gyno is, would Arimistane help that, or is that something that they should go to a doctor for, or what's your recommendation there?
So gynecomastia is where the soft tissue behind the nipple actually ends up growing at a rapid rate because of estrogen conversion, of high amounts of estrogen. So, I mean, if it's really bad to where you can actually feel the lump there, to be truthfully honest, I don't think Arimistane is going to actually help out. You would actually need to go to your doctor and have something prescribed to you,
Yep.
or get it surgically removed. Yeah, it's one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
But
you know,
preventative, would it help?
yeah, I mean, initially right off the bat, yeah. If you are, especially if you are dabbling into like Prohormones and all that kind of stuff, yeah, for sure. It can definitely, again, helps with, because I mean, technically speaking, it is an over-the-counter aromatase inhibitor, so you know that helps to kind of shuttle away estrogen buildup while you're enhancing your testosterone. So, I mean, when it comes to as like I said, a preventative, definitely. But if you already have it, no, you definitely need to go see your doctor.
Okay. I'm going to call out to John and Madison. Can you go through and maybe pick out a random person? I'll give you some time. Let's do a couple giveaways here to people that have been asking questions. So, all right. So, okay. So, what do you guys consider? You each may have a different opinion on this, but what do you consider your the strongest one prohormone or the stack that you could prescribe to somebody and tell them, I want the strongest thing. This is what I'd recommend.
Strongest thing, well, in terms of what though? Like, what do they want to do?
Okay, I want to build as much muscle as possible in the shortest amount of time.
Okay, so my go-to stack for that would probably be the Halodrol and the Superdrol for a full 8 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what you would choose?
Yeah.
Halodrol, Superdrol, stack, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say Superdrol's definitely my number one, and then I've always been a big fan of the 1-testosterone. 1-testosterone is, I mean, it's pretty much any cycle, whether I'm kind of bulking or cutting, I'll actually throw 1-testosterone in. I like having that testosterone base just in there. So Superdrol and 1-testosterone for definitely lean muscle. Not so much like a dirty bulk, just like a lean, good, clean bulk. That would be mine.
Okay, there you go. I would say Superdrol. I like Decabolin together, but I think we all agree. I guess Superdrol is one of the ones that we choose for.
Yeah,
as
it's one
far
of
as
my
strongest.
favorite ones for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I want to be careful with this question, but we get it all the time. So, women wanting to take prohormones. We try not to recommend prohormones to women, of course, but if they are diehard on taking one, is there one or, what do you guys recommend to women when they want, maybe we could talk about the natural options, but prohormone wise.
I was gonna say, other than, I mean, I generally speaking, 99% of the time, I always try to revert them over to the natural stuff. Because realistically speaking, I mean, for a woman, if you want to, I mean, any slight bit of altering your hormones, the reverse process is not the same as a man's. That's one thing to it. So it actually might take a longer process for you to actually reverse the effects of it if you do end up having any. Some of the women that we have seen through online or even in store, they normally like to go for something like the Anavar or Decabolin, because it's a 19-nor. So, those.
The
those
19-nor is one of the least androgenic, correct?
Yeah. So, those are the two that definitely, we've seen them grab the most of. I've never seen a woman grab like a 1-testosterone or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And same goes for me too. And usually, if they do pick out an Anavar or Decabolin, we recommend that they don't take the normal dose.
Yeah.
That's on the bottle. Like Anavar, it's 3 tablets twice per day. I might recommend a woman take 1, maybe 2 tablets tops.
Yeah.
But you're definitely going to want to take a slightly way lesser dose than normally a man would. But normally, again, as Edwin said, I'm going to recommend that you take some sort of natural affect your hormones, laxogenin, epicatechin, ectosterone, turkesterone, anything in that stack. That's usually what I would recommend for you.
Okay, that's good. And okay, so now, if you're like, and that person's like, okay, what should I take naturally? What am I want to build lean muscle mass. I'm a woman, but I don't want to alter my hormones. What do you guys recommend?
Laxogenin is a phenomenal product, to be honest with you. So its main purpose as a plant-based sterol is just to help really get the induction of nitrogen to build up in the body. And since women naturally have a lower nitrogen production, the smallest bit of enhancement can definitely help in terms of actual muscle growth. Whereas compared to men, for example, they have to excessively build theirs up in order to actually build more muscle. So yeah, laxogenin's a fantastic one. High Tech recently came out with the Turkesterone 650 as well as the Ectosten. Both of those, again, being natural substances as well. So I mean, you could definitely try those out too. Kind of, you guys try them out, give some feedback on them. So, but I think those would work, generally speaking, just about the same because I mean they do. It's a very similar process to what laxogenin does. So
yeah.
All right.
Agree.
Excellent.
Agree. Yeah.
All right. Let's continue to go on here. Let's see. This is something sometimes I recommend as well. But your thoughts on if they did their 8-week cycle, they're jumping on their PCT. Okay to take turkesterone if they want to continue that lean muscle, or what are your thoughts on taking like a turkesterone with your PCT?
So I mean, I always recommend to take something along with a PCT if they do want to kind of continue on, because I get a lot of customers asking me like, oh, I kind of, I like the way I feel off this stuff, like I don't want to get off, but to realistically be on the safe side and so your body doesn't get used to it, you definitely do want to get off of a cycle. That's why we only recommend up to about 8 weeks. But during your PCT or even afterwards, you can take something like turkesterone, Ectosten, the laxogenin, Testosterone 21, High Tech's newest test booster as well, Blackstone, either one of those, just to kind of keep things going, keep things elevated as well. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, no. One main question that I've got when working in the stores with someone taking a post-cycle is there like another testosterone booster that I can take, if they're not so much looking for a laxogenin or turkesterone, like Edwin said. Testosterone 21 is a fantastic product. Just the two main ingredients, Tonga-Ali and Phaedogia gastris, had fantastic research behind them, actually proving to boost your testosterone on a point scale. It was actually 200 to 400 points was the average scale. So that's a fantastic product, and that's probably the number one test booster.
What product is that again?
Testosterone 21 from High Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of positive feedback already. Like I'm talking about, even like in-store customers will come back for like their second or third bottle and say how great it worked already for them. They're liking it. They feel great off it. So. And
they don't even have to take that PCT. They could just take that anytime they want to.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I want to call out our first winner, Madame X. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Madison will give me a hard time if I'm not. And we want to call out some people. Andy Portillo just purchased from us, so call that. Thank you for your order.
Thank you.
Again, if you want to go to BestPriceNutrition.com, SupplementWarehouse.com, or MySupplementStore.com, use the cucumber. Use use the coupon code PRO20, and you're going to take 20% off your order on almost anything. And then you're going to be also entered to win some other giveaways that are only going to people that purchased. But we're going to be doing a lot more giveaways as well. So let's see here. Okay, we're going to do I'm getting told to do a lightning round here because we've got a lot of questions coming through. So these are going to be quick.
Boy. Rapid fire.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, this first one. Okay, there's a product called Ball Refill. Any reason taking these male enhancement type of products with a pro-hormone cycle? Any reason not? I mean, is there any problems with it?
No, not at all.
No, absolutely. Ball Refill, great product.
Okay, excellent. I'm a 62-year-old male who lifts weight and bike rides. Are there any, so this is more, I guess, general. Are there any pro-hormones that are better for certain ages? If you're 55 plus versus younger.
With the older men, with what I've experienced when they come in, they really like the one testosterone. Just overall, just the way it makes them feel. Because because like I said, you're getting a direct metabolite of one testosterone, which is what your body naturally makes. So realistically speaking, you're just taking a highly advanced, enhanced version of like a testosterone booster, basically. We're taking one testosterone. So yeah, that would be a fantastic one, even just to take by itself, especially if you're doing weights and biking as your cardio. I mean, can't go wrong with that.
No.
Okay, and with cardio and biking, is there one prohormone or a couple prohormones that are better for endurance athletes?
I would say maybe Winstrol. Winstrol might be something that would go real well with that.
Yeah, any kind of epi-andro I would say would be definitely good. So like Winstrol, dimethazine, stuff like that.
Primobolan
as well.
Okay.
Primobolan product, you don't want to buy multiple ones. Primobolan's got the one and the epi-andro combined into one product.
Okay, and that brings us to another question. We have a lot of prohormones that have multiple ingredients, multiple compounds in them versus the single. Is there any, I guess, benefits? I mean, I guess the obvious benefit is you get more, but sometimes, one testosterone, same price as some of these multi-compound ones. What are some benefits and I guess detriments to doing either?
Higher dose you're getting out of each one of them, what I'm saying? For example, the one testosterone, you're getting 110 milligrams of the one andro in there, whereas the primobolan, it's a blend with the 3 beta, and then I think it's a 6 keto DHEA as well. So, but it's only 50 milligrams per tablet. So how much are you actually getting of the one testosterone? We're not too sure on that. But it does tell you to take 3 a day. So even at 3 a day, let's say you're maybe getting all of like 70 milligrams of one testosterone, realistically speaking, whereas one tablet of the one testosterone, you're getting 110 milligrams.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. We talked about endurance earlier, the strength athlete, the power lifter. What prohormones do you recommend for him?
So from me personally, one of the best prohormones that I've ever used that's helped me a lot with strength is Anavar. Anytime that I've ever taken Anavar, I get really strong off of it. But again, those 4 andro compounds are going to be the stronger compounds. So that's where you're going to put on the most muscle, the most size. That's definitely going to be the best for strength. So Anavar, that's definitely something that me personally has gotten me real strong. I really like Sesson on. I'm always a huge person who will push Sesson on 250. I get really good results with that.
Okay. All right. That's good. Anything you like for powerlifting?
I was gonna say Sesson on 250. Like Jordan said, any of the 4 andros. You know what I'm saying? That having that wet compound in there helps lubricate the muscle as well, so you can actually lift heavier without having all that joint ache and pain. So yeah, any one of those.
Okay. One person dialed in. When I took 1AD, I had some night sweats. Is there any way to mitigate this effect, or have you heard of that?
Night sweats from 1AD.
I would probably want to know if they're taking anything else besides 1AD, because that's one thing, me personally, that I haven't heard necessarily of. I'd be curious to know if there's anything else, like vitamins-wise, nutrition-wise, just anything that you are taking, something later at night.
Temperature of your room.
Yeah,
I mean, all that is a lot to play with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep. Sorry, don't know about that one. Okay. This is a common question, but how long does it usually take to feel hormones working?
I tell this to every single customer. I'm sorry, but that's one question that's unfortunately we're not able to actually answer, because everybody's body responds differently to how quickly or how slow the compounds work for them. I've had some people say they feel it in 3 days. I've had some people say they feel it in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it varies person to person with all the different compounds with those.
Definitely. Yeah. No. One thing I will say that I hear from a lot of customers is strength gains the first couple weeks. They notice their lift going up.
Yeah.
But as far as like physical change, I mean it's all going to come down to how your body reacts to it, your diet, your training, what your goals are. It might take a few weeks. Some guys might gain 5 or 6 pounds within the first couple weeks. Again, it's all going to be to each his own.
Yeah.
They're going to have their own different results.
Okay. All right, trying to get through all everybody's questions. There's a lot of them coming in, so you guys are on a roll here. Okay, alcohol. Can I drink while I'm taking my prohormones?
Technically, yes. Is it an optimal thing to do? No. There's a higher chance that it might destroy your gains, but I mean, obviously, because they're non-methylated, again, they don't affect your liver in any kind of way. I think the alcohol is going to affect your liver more than the prohormones will.
Very much.
But, technically, realistically speaking, it's fine.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, I like whiskey, if I'm sitting at home, drinking a whiskey, I don't know, hanging out, there's no problems with that. It's all good.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're fine.
Yeah. But you can take Liver RX. Great high tech product.
That's right.
Yep.
You can.
That's true. Okay, let's see. Okay, now when to take prohormones? Like the time of day. A lot of these prohormones are, I think most of them are twice a day. What's the optimal way to take it each day?
Depends on when you work out. I always like to say to take at least one serving of it about an hour prior to your workout, and then the other one would either be, if you're working out later at night, take one right before your workout, and then take the first thing right when in the morning, or if you work out in the morning, take one in the morning, and then take one later on in the evening before you sleep. So it just varies. It varies around the time of your workout, realistically.
Yeah, so. And between doses, I definitely would recommend at least like 6 to 8 hours in between there before your second dose. But yeah, one thing personally is I definitely taking your prohormones an hour before you're working out. One I really tried and I liked before was dimethazine. I had a real good massive tight pump taking dimethazine about an hour before I'm working out. So great cutting stack. I would add dimethazine before your workout.
Yeah.
All right. Should you or do you need to have your blood levels checked, before running a prohormone, after running a prohormone? Do people usually do that?
Getting checked should be an optimal thing you should be doing regardless. I think it's great to actually do it, and if you actually want to see, realistically speaking, if these prohormones are actually working for you, that's one of the best ways to actually do it. Get some blood work done during your cycle. I'd probably say after the 4th week. And then even afterwards, probably right after you finish your PCT, to kind of see where you're at that point. Probably the 2 best times to take them or to get them done, kind of see where everything's at. So, but on a health perspective wise too, you should be getting your blood work regardless. So,
okay, the kits. So we get a lot of questions about the LG Sciences kits. The cutting andro kit, that's kind of obvious. The bulking andro kit, that's kind of obvious. The Trifecta and the battle hardener. That's people just, I don't know. I even have sometimes a hard time explaining to those or why you should use those over those two. So could you tell us the reason you would take the Trifecta kit and the reason you would take the battle hardener?
The Trifecta, I believe, is just 3 of the ingredients. I think it's just the one andro, I think it's an epi-andro, and then I think it's just the PCT that's in there. So, that's a general maintenance type stack. If you're not really trying to cut or bulk, if you just want something to kind of amplify and enhance your workouts a little bit, that's kind of the stack you'd want to go with.
Yeah.
Battle hardener, I'm not 100% sure what's in that one.
I say, now off the top of my head, I couldn't tell the exact ingredients, but based off, even the name, just hardener, you're trying to tighten up a little bit, maybe you just finished your cutting cycle, you might have done the cutting andro kit, but you didn't get maybe as lean or as tight as you wanted to. That could be something you could take right after to kind of, finish that off, maybe.
Doesn't the battle hardener also have the EpiCat in there?
I believe it does have it in a blend.
Yeah. So, which obviously helps a lot with, as Jordan was saying, to help with hardening, filling out the muscle as well too. You know what I'm saying? So. Now,
can you take one kit? I think is 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Can you take 2 kits in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. Yeah, because the kits, they're 4 weeks on, and then it's 2 weeks of the post cycle. So
I think
Yeah, if you do 2 full kits, you're going to get 2 post cycles from those kits. So that'll actually help complete the 4 weeks right there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to call out another winner, Brody Matthews. You are another winner of the giveaway. So I think we got your information. So you'll be getting some of our supplements sent to you as well. Next question. Can you? Okay, I'm on my prohormone cycle. Do I need to work out 7 days a week?
No.
Actually, rest is very important for muscle recovery.
Yeah, overtraining can actually, reduce the amount of muscle your body will actually naturally put on. So, definitely give your body those rest days.
Yeah.
And on those rest days, do I need to still take the prohormones?
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay,
so keep it consistent, keep the level stable in your body, even on your off days. That can actually help your body with recovery as well. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not really putting your body through any kind of excess stress through lifting and all that kind of stuff, but you're still, enhancing the amount of nitrogen your body's producing, that can actually help with the uptake of nutrients, which will help the muscle grow and recover a lot easier too. So.
Okay. All right. We get the Libido questions a lot, so I'm gonna give you a few of these here. We'll talk about this little topic here. So out of all the prohormones that we have, now this gentleman, I'm guessing is a gentleman, wants to know which prohormone is going to make me want to have sex with my lady 5 times a day.
One, testosterone probably, to be honest, because like I said, realistically, I mean, you're just getting that instant spike of testosterone.
Yeah.
So anytime you enhance that, obviously your libido is going to want to enhance as well. So I mean, you know, that helps get everything going. So that would probably be your go-to, to be honest.
Are there any prohormones that kind of cause your libido to go down?
I haven't heard of any of them having libidos crashing.
Well, how about now there is a lot of people, you know, notice a libido drop when they get off their cycle.
Yeah.
You know, what's the best way to either stop that from happening or reduce the time of, I guess, recovering and getting that libido back?
A natural test booster.
Yeah. Testosterone 21.
Literally
stack it with your,
yeah.
You know,
So because
like,
for the was it the Fedoja in there that helps with
Fedoja,
libido? So yeah.
So what exact products would you recommend?
so, yeah, like post-cycle, like Arimiplex, probably testosterone 21. Those two products easily. Or if you're doing, you know, a crazy multiple 5 different prohormones, theoretically, Arimiplex, Novadex, testosterone 21. But yeah, no, Arimiplex, testosterone 21, those would be the easiest ones I would recommend for you.
Yeah.
All right. Fall's coming up, you know, bulking, you know, we talked about that. For each of you, what stack do you plan on taking for the fall, winter season coming up?
Go ahead.
I'll say, I mean, I'm going on vacation here in about a week, heading to Florida, so I've been on my cut for a little longer than I wanted to, but when I get back, the two that I really want to try are together is the Equipoise and Anavar. I'm definitely going to try and put on 20 pounds, so I definitely need something that's going to increase my appetite and allow me to eat a lot more, because I'm going to be needing to eat in that caloric surplus if I want to put on weight. So I'm going to go with Equipoise and Anavar. That'll be the stack that I'll be trying here next.
Good.
I'm actually midway through week 3 on Sesson 250 and Superdrol actually. I'm already up 4 pounds. I'm hoping it's lean weight, but no, I've definitely felt a difference. I mean, strength's definitely up there. Overall size too and everything. But yeah, no, that's like I said that earlier. That's what I was saying. That was one of my favorite stacks, and for overall size and bulking. So I'm liking it so far. So
Okay.
we'll see how the rest of it goes.
Okay, and you guys talking about, you know, hopefully yours is lean, and you're trying to gain 20 pounds, so you want your appetite to increase.
Yes.
So what kind of foods are you guys eating for this? You know,
I have the basic meathead type meals. It's either chicken and rice, tuna and rice. I do about 4 whole eggs in the morning. My carbs I do kind of play around with because obviously I've stopped competing since 2016, but so like, you know, if I want to have like a bagel or a couple of English muffins in the morning, it's perfectly fine with me. I know that, you know, you're allergic to that, but it's okay.
carbs again. I keep my carbs low.
But yeah, and then I'll give myself 1 to 2 free meals during the week as well, so I'm not going crazy with anything. But all my food is still weighed out. I mean, that's one thing that kind of kept with me since I was competing. I still weigh out all my protein sources, my carbs, fats, everything like that. So I know exactly what's going into my body. So
Yeah, I would agree with that. If I don't weigh out my food, I'm completely lost. I have no idea how much I'm eating, especially if if I'm on a cut and I need to be in a deficit, I need to make sure that I'm not eating more. But no, main sources of protein, chicken is usually my number one. I like lean ground beef. I usually stay with a 90-10, something that's going to be lower in fat, higher in protein. Usually my 2 main carb sources are rice and sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. If you have an air fryer, you could actually cut up some sweet potatoes, throw them in the air fryer, a little olive oil. You can actually make sweet potato fries. That's what I normally do, especially if I'm trying to bulk up. And then I usually have some sort of vegetable in a couple meals, and then a fat. One of my biggest ones is coconut oil. I actually worked with a coach a few years ago, and he actually had me add coconut oil to just about every one of my meals just to have a good, natural fat in there. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's good. Okay. Shout out to Zara Esway. She's placed an order with us. Thank you, Zara. Question is, what are your thoughts on just doing a 4-week versus an 8-week cycle?
This goes back to the whole, how do people respond to them? How quickly will they respond to the product and all that kind of stuff? We generally recommend 8 weeks total. That's just to make sure your body can optimize, the compound itself to the fullest. Whereas like with 4 weeks, you're gonna be like, okay, well, I kind of felt it. Your body also has to recognize the product itself as you're taking it in. So sometimes that could take a full week doing that. So if you're already wasting a week to 2 weeks for your body to recognize the product, to make sure it gets in your system properly, and then starts getting to its effects, what are you really gonna get out of 2 weeks? So that's why at least at that point, if you run it for another 6 weeks, at that if your nutrition's on point, your training's on point as well, there's no reason why you should get you should get full effects within an 8-week period.
Yeah.
So
No, that's something I would agree on too. A lot of the biggest things that I've heard in the store from customers is, I only took this for 4 weeks. I liked it, but I didn't feel like I got the most out of it. So I usually tell them, grab another bottle before you even start your post cycle. Take it for another 4 weeks. Come back, tell me how you liked it, and it's always the same thing. I'm really glad that I stuck and did that extra 4 weeks to complete the full 8 weeks, because I feel like I got a lot more out of it. So again, you could do a 4 weeks. I'm not going to say you can't, but I would really push you do the full 8-week cycle.
All right. Shout out to Chris Stanton, placed an order just now. Thank you, Chris. Okay, so we got a question. I know we talk a lot about high-tech Prohormones. So Blackstone Labs, what are you guys' thoughts on the Metha-Quad Extreme? That's kind of their biggest one for people to take. What do you think that's good for? Who should take it?
Metha-Quad, it's in the name. It's 4 different compounds in one. I do actually believe it has the Arimistane in there already.
It does. Yeah.
So, what is it? 1 andro, 4 andro?
It's 1 andro, 4 andro. It's got the androsterone in there.
So an epiandro and then the Arimistane.
Yeah.
So
4 and 1 right there.
Yeah, it's a solid product. I literally have a customer who comes in here like clockwork. Mm-hmm. He literally comes in every, I think, almost 3 weeks and grabs another bottle of Metha-Quad because he absolutely loves the product. That's his absolute go-to when it comes down to he's tried other things as well, but no matter what, his go-to at all points in times is the Metha-Quad. Yeah. So I think it's pretty solid overall for what it is. It's definitely a bit pricier compared to the other ones, but it's because of what you're getting out of it or what you're getting in it. So
it's a great standalone product.
Yeah, definitely.
Easily. You could stack other things with it. Chosen one, Brutal Force, depending on what you're looking to do. You want to put on some exercise, you can stack Brutal Force. But if just trying to do like a lean, clean bulk, with Chosen one, abnormal, or just on its own, it's completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sticking on the Blackstone Labs brand, thoughts on PCT5 versus like a Arimiplex?
Personally, I would probably go with the Arimiplex. Again, only because of the absorption of the tablets, the way they're gonna work with your body. Mm-hmm. And I think the blend overall is actually a bit higher with the Arimiplex compared to the PCT5. To me, that I would rather stick with that.
That's definitely something that we notice a lot is high-tech products tend to be more highly dosed as opposed to, Blackstone. So like PCT5, you're gonna get more out of Arimiplex. Eradicate, which is Blackstone's estrogen blocker, you get more Arimistane out of the actual high-tech Arimistane. Yeah. So while I do actually like Blackstone, they make really great products, I'm always going to prefer high-tech over that brand.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, you guys have been both using Prohormones for quite some time, and and a lot of people want to get the most out of it. They want to, what are your thoughts on, overdosing? I guess the products. I'm not saying you're overdosing, but for example, Superdrol, recommends 2 tablets a day. What if someone does 3? Are they increasing their chances of side effects? Is that something that shouldn't be done, or should we just not say anything and tell them to take the recommended dosage? But what have you guys ever done more than what's recommended, or?
The only ones where people have told me they've taken more than the recommended dose was either Halodrol or Sesson 50. I've heard some people say that they took 2 tablets instead of the 1 tablet a day, and they said that it actually worked a little bit better. Nothing too crazy, what I'm saying. But hey, if you're willing to test it out and try the 2 tablets with those ones. The other ones, honestly, other than dimethazine, Primobolan, and Winstrol, those could be 3 a day for sure.
I think the 1AD allows you to go to 4.
Yeah, same with like the Equipoise too.
Yeah,
it's 2 tablets, but it says don't recommend 4.
Right.
So one thing, if you've never taken them before, I would say just stick with what it recommends. But if you are someone who seasonally uses, Equipoise, you can take up to 4. I would say you could definitely do that, but I wouldn't. If it says don't go past 4,
don't go
I
past
usually
4.
don't recommend that.
All right, we got a lot of questions about Halodrol. So with Halodrol, taking it alone versus, is there anything you'd recommend stacking with it?
You could take it alone. It's a great standalone product. I mean, it's a combination of the 1 andro, a 4 andro, and then the 1,4 binded andro together. So I mean, that's a very solid stack as a standalone. And again, that one, to make it easier too, that one is, like I said, 1 tablet a day. So running that again for a full 8 weeks, you can't go wrong with that. You could definitely stack it as well. I think I mentioned this earlier. We stack the Halodrol with the Superdrol. That's a really solid lean bulking stack.
So, yeah, one of the most common stacks that I've seen with the Superdrol while working in the store is the Sesson. I've had quite a few guys.
The Halodrol?
Yeah, with the Halodrol.
Yeah.
No, I've had
Yeah.
quite a few guys come in for the Sesson Halodrol combination, and they're just looking to put on pure size.
Yeah.
Don't really care about, weight, body fat. They just want to get as big as possible. And a lot of those guys really liked it to where they continuously come back and run that cycle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and another Halotestin. So why would someone take Halotestin, and what would you recommend stacking with that?
The main ingredient in Halotestin is a 4 andro. So that one would be, again, probably more so on a bulking side more than anything. And that one kind of made very similar to like Primobolan. So it's a 3-in-1 kind of combo. So I mean, you definitely would want to, I would say probably stack it with something. So you could stack that with like either like a 1 testosterone if you want to keep it really lean. Maybe the Halodrol as well. Sesson 250 if you're actually looking for more of the size as well. But yeah, so I mean, it's, again, you're not getting full doses of everything in there. So obviously just taking it by itself, you may or may not get the best results from it. But I mean, stacking it for sure would definitely help out a lot. So
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Yeah.
Okay. And what would be the reason for, they say, you're stacking like a Halotestin or a Halodrol, which is more of a bulking one, with a 1 test, which is for cutting? We see it a lot that people do it, but I mean, is that okay to do, or is that not the best, method to take?
I think that's fine. No, I think if you want to keep, if you want to stick with 1 andros, combining them with 4 andros, again, it depends on what your whole fitness goal is. If you want to put on a total of 5 pounds within the whole cycle, yeah, you want to keep something that's going to have minimal water retention, but at the same time have something that's going to throw in there to actually increase your strength, help tear the muscle down even more to make sure you can grow it, more efficiently, feed it a lot better as well too. So yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, it's completely fine. Especially if you're someone who's, again, it's the water retention. You don't want to put on massive amounts of, you don't want to feel bloated in the face. 1 testosterone is easy for that because there's no water retention with that. There's no estrogen conversion with that. Now again, if you don't care about your weight at all, you don't necessarily need it. But for those who just want to do a nice clean bulk, I like the 1 testosterone. It's just a good testosterone base.
Okay. All right, I want to do some more shout outs. Quite a few M's here. Michael Cohey, Matthew Rosenbaum, Michael Shu, thanks for placing those orders. Again, if you just joined us, go to BestPriceNutrition.com, SupplementWarehouse.com, MySupplementStore.com. Use the coupon code PRO20. You're going to get 20% off almost everything, and you're going to get entered in to win some of our giveaways. So basically, you're going to get some extra. Few of you are going to get some extra bottles in your order when it goes out. If John and Madison maybe pick out another random winner for us, so we'll get that to you. Let's see. Okay, this is another one we get a lot, especially with like athletes. Can Prohormones cause a false positive during a drug test?
I don't honestly see how they would. Because generally speaking, with spike of testosterone or anything like that, it would have to show up in blood plasma. So would it show up in urine, especially these being non-methylated? I don't think so.
Yeah, I know we've had customers reach out and say that they tested positive. One that I've heard before was Decabolin from High Tech. Now, whether that's legit or not, it was a chat through our customer service. So, I mean, I don't necessarily think you will test positive at all. It's highly doubted. You got to be tested for, strictly PEDs anyways. A standard drug test, you're not going to test positive for anything.
There's no stimulants in these. There's nothing like that. Nothing crazy that would pop up on something. So I mean, if it's urine based, again, I highly doubt it would actually pop up on a test.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
And if you heard that, we highly doubt. So we're not guaranteeing it won't. So don't come to us when you get drug tested, but it shouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we really don't know exactly.
But
I
again,
guess
we
the
don't know.
governing body is testing. For
Yeah,
us. So,
exactly.
Okay, we talked about a lot of natural test boosters. Can people, I mean, is it worthless to do, or can people take a natural test booster while on a pro-hormone cycle?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. It's not going to be worthless, and it could be more beneficial to you. Especially, again, testosterone 21. I'm going to mention that 1,000 times. I think that's the very best natural test booster, not just what we sell, but I think as far as on the market goes.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want something to
Simplicity.
just libido, natural energy.
Everything, yeah.
That
And the natural test booster, you can run them all year long if you want to. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to keep that going because you like the way it makes you feel, and then you want to just be like, hey, you know what? I want to step it up a notch. Let me throw in a pro-hormone cycle in here too.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It actually makes your PCT a lot easier as well because you already have your natural test levels where they should be basically. So.
All right, perfect. I want to do another shout out to Chris Mario, I believe. He's one of our just random winners. If you want to get in for that giveaway, all you got to do is right below the YouTube video, there's a description of the video, and then there's a link to a form where you just have to fill it out, send us in a question. We're picking out random people to win some products, so that's all you got to do there. So Chris Mario will reach out to you. And we got some orders. Austin Weger, thank you. Marshall Burns, thank you. Okay, with Superdrol, we all talked about Superdrol being very powerful.
Yep.
There is Innovative Labs has a product that's pretty similar, Monsterplex. Do you guys know, I mean, the differences between those two?
Monsterplex is actually going to give you a blend of, so like,
It's a lot.
yeah, it's a whole lot in there, yeah. So you're getting natural compounds in there as well as the pro-hormone compounds in there as well. So you're getting the 1-andro, you're getting the 4-andro, you're getting the 1,4 combo. You do get a small amount of turkesterone in there, and then you also get a patented substance called diasterol. So diasterol is actually a very, very concentrated form of laxogenin. So it's at a much higher dose, but the way it breaks down into the body, your body actually will assimilate the laxogenin form a lot better than almost any other product. So yeah, no, Monsterplex, like I said, it's an all-in-one, so to say. So.
Okay. A lot of people are asking questions about testosterone 21. We talked a little bit about it. I think we should talk a little bit more. I think one gentleman said he actually got his levels checked after taking that product. They went from 500 to 800.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
That's
So-
really
Wow.
good.
Yes. So testosterone 21 again. So this is a natural product.
Yep.
The ingredients, can we, I know there are a lot of new people joining, but give a breakdown of testosterone 21, how you should take it, when you should take it, who should take it.
So, I mean, it's something that, it can be taken standalone, it can be taken on cycle, post-cycle, it can be taken post-cycle. I know I mentioned the first two ingredients, Fedosia gestris and then Tongat Ali. Again, they have the backed research behind them on the average point scale through blood tests, raising 200 to 400 points. But there's also two other ingredients in there. KSM ashwagandha, which is a fantastic stress reliever. KSM is the very best version of ashwagandha. Plus, it blocks cortisol. So cortisol is something that your adrenal glands release when you're under any physical or mental stress. And while it's meant to fight back the stress, it's actually very damaging to muscle. So if your cortisol is out of whack, you have a hard time building muscle, you have a hard time building fat,
And if I want to add to that, that's actually one of the main reasons why a lot of men these days actually have lower T levels is because of high amounts of cortisol, but they don't even realize it.
Yeah.
If you're getting lack of sleep, if your job's stressing you out, whether it's family, life, whatever it is, you generally will have low T levels. And again, if you're not getting your blood work done normally, like I said, you won't ever know that, and then you'll wonder like, oh, I'm feeling sluggish, I'm gaining all this weight, my libido's gone down the drain, I have no drive to do anything. That's because you have low T levels. And I mean, so adding in ashwagandha, especially like Jordan said, the KSM 66 version is probably one of the greatest things when it comes down to helping to manage and lower cortisol levels, to make sure that your body can optimize the way it should without having your cortisol spike every other minute, basically, from anything outside of what you're doing. So
Exactly. And then, the very last ingredient is Optizink, which is just it's a trademark name for a form of zinc. So zinc, again, is very good for just testosterone in general, but it's great for your immune system as well. So, 4 great ingredients to just help naturally produce your testosterone, boost your libido, help with just natural energy. It can help with muscle building as well, recovery. So again, if you are just looking for, you don't want to do Prohormones, you just want something to help with that, that's great to just take on its own, and you can run it all year long because there's no suppression with the natural testosterone.
Right.
And it's 4 tablets per day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. So nothing crazy. And again, each bottle gets you a month supply. It's something that I would highly recommend men just take all year round.
Yeah.
And I take it, I'm 43 years old, so I get my blood checked once a year in December. And, I've noticed it, I'm 43, I've noticed it go down every year slightly, but I'm excited, I started taking testosterone 21 this year. So, it'd be nice to see what my actual levels are, but great product. I feel great on it and something I take constantly. So definitely highly recommend for all men, especially if you're starting to get up there in your 30s, 40s, 50s, it's definitely something to try out. So, and like that one gentleman said, his went from 500 to 800 when he got tested, which is amazing. So, all right, talking with testosterone levels, TRT. We get a lot of questions about, is it okay to take Prohormones, and if you're on TRT, is that a better question for your doctor? What are your opinions on taking them together?
I would say because one thing you have to remember about TRT, although you're getting a synthetic form of testosterone into your body, it's not at an extreme amount to where your body will want to start building new muscle tissue and all that kind of stuff. It's just enough for your body to get back to where your levels should naturally be at. So if you want to, not do an excessive amount of anything else like that, and you want to throw in some Prohormones, I think that's a great alternative, to be honest. So, because you can still get the muscle building benefits of the Prohormones, as well as have the actual full-on health benefits of your TRT. So they can kind of work in correlation together. To help you, get where you want to go, basically. So
I would agree, because you go to a TRT clinic, they're only going to prescribe you a certain amount. They're not going to give you what a standard bodybuilder might be taking. So if you are looking for something just to give you a little bit more, you could definitely stack a Prohormone with TRT.
Now, one gentleman talked about that he's been reading online and everything and saw that 4 andro is really good with TRT. Or should he take 1 andro so he doesn't get the water retention? Are there any specific Prohormones you guys would recommend if you're on TRT?
If you're on TRT, again, it depends on, like how you just asked. It just depends on what your overall fitness goal is. So, if you want to stay lean, go with the leaner compounds. Stick with a 1 testosterone, dimethazine, Winstrol, or stack the both or all 3. If you want to get a little bit of size going, take the Halodrol, Sesson 250, stuff like that, basically. Nothing, again, you don't have to go excessively crazy with it, because like I said, you're going to have the correlation of the two working together. So I think it just, again, varies just on what your overall fitness goal is.
Okay. Do a shout out to Dale Davis and I don't know if it's Yas Pie Pal, one of the two. Thank you for your order. Again, go to any of our websites, 20% off with the coupon code PRO20. Works on almost anything, and you'll be entered to win numerous giveaways that we'll be doing. All right. If we talked about 8 weeks being kind of the optimal amount of time to take a Prohormone. Okay, let's say, what if I cut the dose in half? Can I take it for 4 months?
Sure, but are you really going to get anything out of that? That's the whole thing to it. It's if you're really trying to, again, get the full effects of the Prohormones, they have a recommended dose on there for a reason. The way they researched them before they actually made the product was, okay, they're well, this dose does this, but then this dose will give you the maximal results for them. So, again, sure, you could do that, but I wouldn't see a point in doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, you're kind of defeating the purpose at that point. If it's recommended you take this dose, taking half of what it's recommending, you're not going to get the results that you're going to be looking for. Yeah.
Right.
All right. And Madison, John, why don't you throw me over 2 more winners for some giveaways?
All right.
Keep those questions coming in. Keep filling that form out right below the video. There's a link to it, and you'll be entered to win. All right, so we talked about endurance, we talked about strength athletes. What if someone's gonna be, you've competed, Jordan, hopefully you'll be competing eventually here. What would be your ProHormone or ProHormone stack if someone's got maybe a bodybuilding competition coming up?
So at one of our stores, we actually had 2 customers who did a show while on ProHormones. They started off using, what was it? I think they started off using the 1AD. It was the 1AD and the Superdrol. And then as they got closer to the show, they switched over to the 1-testosterone and dimethazine at the time. Because I don't think Winstrol was out yet.
And why did they do that?
Because you're going from like keeping a slight build, keeping the muscles full, giving you that strength that you need while your body still has the calories in there. But then as you get closer to a show, you don't want to, you want to get rid of as much water retention as possible, dry out a lot more, to make sure the muscles pop. But at the same time, obviously, if anyone who's done a high calorie deficit while doing an excessive amount of cardio for a show prep knows that your strength will decline during that period of time. So, helping to, mildly still lift heavy will help keep the muscles nice and rounded, keep them nice and full. And at the same time, especially if you're just doing ProHormones, then, it'll help actually, keep your body's recovery process going, make sure that the muscle can actually stay there for the most part instead of burning that away as well. So, yeah, and they had great results with them, honestly. I think one of them actually won his class doing it, so.
Yeah, no, that's something that I would completely agree with, especially as you approach your last few weeks, you're going to be removing a lot of water in your body, trying to shred down to as little body fat as possible. Dimethazine, Winstrol, any of those epi-andros are going to be crucial for removing the water weight.
All right, perfect. Okay, I'm going to do some shout outs. Madison and John are on it. We got Ryan Schaus, and we got Andrew. Whoa, lights went off. Sorry about that. We're in the dark for a little bit here. We're trying to be very efficient and sustainable with our energy usage here. So
yes, we're very clean and green here.
So yes, Ryan Schaus and Andrew Saldana. We got some giveaway products that are going to be coming to you. Okay, so if someone's at the gym and I want to hit my max, I want to beat all my friends, I want to I just want to beat them all, I want to get the best bench I can. Is there a ProHormone that you guys would recommend for just getting that strength up so you can hit that new PR?
4 andros.
Yep.
Anything with the 4 andros in there.
Powerful Sustanon.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my go-to, or Anavar. I really like the Anavar.
Yeah,
but
either one.
Sustanon, you want to beat your friends. You want to hit that 3 plates on bench, 315 before they all do. Sustanon 250.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Sustanon 250. Any of the 4 andros.
Yes,
that's
pretty much
what you'll do. Okay, excellent. I hope whoever asked that question, I hope you do beat them and get that PR.
Yep.
All right, so okay, so we talked about what we recommended for women earlier. Now, what if a woman, she just wants to get big, and she takes Superdrol? What side effects can happen? Is there anything she should worry about? We're unfiltered here.
I was about to say I can't. I'm sure there definitely will be.
Yeah.
Because again, you're raising your testosterone levels when you shouldn't be.
Little hair on your chin.
Yeah. I mean, you might expect some kind of acne breakout. To be honest with you, for the most part.
Think any deeper voice, maybe? We're gonna hit that level.
Depends. I guess it depends on how hard the body's actually end up responding to it. I mean,
all I can picture is hormonal imbalance.
Yeah,
right
that's a for sure.
And
that's a for sure.
Gonna probably do more bad than good.
Yeah. So make sure you've done your research on how to reverse the effects afterwards, because a PCT that you normally use for pro-hormone cycles will not work the same for women as it does for men.
It will not.
So you have to go through different methods, and honestly, if you find out that it's irreversible, I'd say don't even go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Be careful.
Careful.
All right. is there a prohormone or a product that would help if you got some little man boobies going on? What would you recommend for that?
Are you?
Is we talking about like gyno, or are we just talking about like?
Are you overweight or is that?
Maybe you know some men do have a little bit, they want to get their chest leaner. No gyno, but they've got a little bit excess chest area.
Yeah, just you can always do a cutting stack, and while you're doing that, add in a good amount of cardio and clean up your diet.
Yeah.
I don't see why you can't get rid of that and actually tone up the muscle a little bit of the chest.
One
And
test.
the cutting stack.
One test,
or cutting stack,
Winstrol. If you're not opposed to fat burners, High-Tech makes really, really good fat burners.
If not the
Lipodrenes
best
are
on the market.
most popular.
Yeah.
You could add that to a pre-cardio stack, throw in some Lipodrene.
Okay, so I guess that's a good question.
Yeah.
Fat, if someone's cutting, what other products can they add to get a little bit more advantage that's not a prohormone?
So one of the biggest things that I like, especially when I'm, dieting, I like fasted cardio. I think fasted cardio is huge for burning body fat. So I normally tend to have a stim-based fat burner and then maybe something with a little non-stim. So if I go stim-based, I really like Lipodrene. I'll take a tablet, maybe 2 tablets, go do my cardio, and I really like High-Tech makes the yohimbine. Yohimbine's really good for removing.
I always give this
water
guy
weight.
shit because I don't know if anybody else has taken yohimbine before, but that gives me the cold sweats. I
love it.
If I do a pull down, man, I feel that all the way down my neck. But you said you stick to it when you're only doing cardio.
Yes, because yohimbine works the best on an empty stomach.
Okay.
Definitely. So you get it's most effective in an empty stomach. Yeah, I mean, again, some people do experience, cold sweats with yohimbine. I personally do if I don't do enough cardio to get it out of my system. So I'll take 2 or 3, caplets of yohimbine, and I'll go sit on go do the Stairmaster for 45 minutes. By the time I get out, then I feel fine. But if I go do cardio for 20 minutes with that much yohimbine, yeah, you're gonna have cold sweats. So
If you don't want the cold sweats, one of High-Tech's sister brands, Top Secret Nutrition, they actually have the Fireball carnitine. So you're actually getting 1,500 milligrams of L-carnitine, which is the amino acid that actually helps to take your store of fatty acids and actually use that as a fuel source to help burn off. They've also added the paradoxin in there, which is a great non-stimulant, thermogenic, really gets you sweating. So, having the combination of that with the carnitine, you build up such a sweat during your workout, like an excessive amount of sweat. And you don't get the off jitters like you would with the yohimbine or something, because I'm not a fan of it either.
I love it.
High-Tech also has their CLA product, which is a very, very good concentrated form of CLA, which, you can definitely take along with cutting if you want to go non-stim. But, what Jordan was saying, they make I want to say honestly, the best fat burners on the market.
Huge selection too.
Yeah, definitely. The Lipodrenes alone, you get, 4 different ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you really can't go wrong with adding any of those along with like a cutting stack, for example. So, yeah.
Okay, and we talked about cutting, we talked about bulking. Now, if someone wants to do a recomp, maybe they want to lose some fat, but they want to build muscle as well. Is there any product you guys recommend or any stack that you'd recommend for that?
You talking Prohormone stack?
Prohormone stack.
You do one test and keep it simple. I mean, you can do one test in Decabolin. I'd say that's a really good.
That's an easy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's a really good recomp stack. Again, no estrogen conversion.
No.
Help keeping the muscle going. Again, help get rid of some excess weight as well too. Again, adding cardio and make sure your diet's on point too. So.
Okay. All right. When you're taking a prohormone, maybe they don't have a goal of cutting or bulking, but is there a certain body fat percentage at where they're at? Like say they're at 15%. Should they take a certain prohormone? Does it make sense better to take like an Equipoise or a Sesson or a one test, or it doesn't even matter? I mean, at certain body, if you're at 10%, you probably almost got abs, versus maybe you're at 20%. Is there a specific prohormone you'd recommend to somebody at those?
If you're higher up in the body fat percentage and you're expecting these prohormones to magically get rid of all that excess fat, that's not the way they work. I'm sure they could definitely help, especially if you are doing a long cut to get down to the lower body fat. Again, they can help with keeping on the muscle so your body's not burning that away along with the fat. But I mean, I would say, yeah, I guess you can kind of say that it does have to have a bit of a play in there. Again, depending on what their fitness goal is. So like, if you're at 15% body fat and you want to put on a slight bit of lean size, say if you're in like an off-season or something like that, you can go with like a lean bulking stack. Or if you want something to cut down a little bit more for the summertime, go with a cutting stack as well. But like I said, if you're anything above like 20%, definitely focus more on your nutrition, your cardio. Get down to a more comfortable body fat percentage before incorporating any of these to help with getting you that one step further.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, quick shout out, Eric Coleman, Vincent Dansby, thank you for your orders. We got another giveaway winner, random giveaway person is Austin Weger. So be on the lookout for me, email from us, you'll be getting some free stuff. All right, so let's see. This kind of is, something that happened to me, earlier in the year. I separated my AC joint. So I was trying to look for anything I could to help myself heal quicker. Now, I didn't take any Prohormones, but are there any Prohormones you'd recommend to get through an injury faster? Or any products in general?
I would say product-wise, so High Tech actually makes the Protropin, which is a growth hormone releasing product. So it'll actually help your body naturally release growth hormone, and that's actually what helps to rebuild and recover any type of tendons, smaller tissues and all that kind of stuff, ligaments. I think that would be a fantastic product to take.
What's the product again?
Protropin.
Protropin.
Yeah. That, and again, well, if you want, I mean, if you're, if you're out of the gym for a little bit, or if you can only do certain body parts or something like that, and you kind of want to keep as much muscle as possible, just stick with like a 1 testosterone. That's probably one that I will say, you can pretty much take for any purpose, realistically. So yeah, I'd say even stacking those two products together, it would definitely be helpful in terms of quicker recovery, so to say.
Yeah. And I can say he was the one that recommended the Protropin to me. I took that. I took it along with collagen. I took like SMM or MSM, and I think a few other joint products. And the doctor did think would probably take about 4 months to get back to lifting, and I think I got back in about 2 months. I'm not saying it was all that. I did physical therapy as well, but when you're out of the gym that long, you want any kind of advantage you can have. So I was appreciative of these guys for helping me out there. Thank you Jeffrey Faticone and Robert Tart for your orders. How about, okay, we just talked about the Protropin, and I know there's another one called IGF-1. What are your guys' thoughts on taking them along with Prohormones?
Yeah, definitely. Those are two products you actually can run for a longer period of time and get great benefits from them. I have a lot of customers who actually do pair them together, and they are repetitive too when it comes to buying more than one bottle after they're done with it. Because again, each one of them helps with releasing different factors of your growth hormone, basically. So one of them helps with the nutrient uptake, which is your IGF-1 levels, and the other one will naturally help your body release somatotropin, which are the growth hormone that your body naturally releases. So overall, in recovery purposes, that's a fantastic stack to take. So if you are feeling a bit more like run down and beat down in the way your body feels, trying those two out can definitely help your recovery process overall. So not even just from injury, just from general daily basis too. So
and then for those of you who don't know, the Pro IGF is something that it's a daytime product, as opposed to the Protropin. That's something that you will take before bed to help release overnight growth hormone.
And did you say you could take both?
Yeah,
you can. Yeah. Okay. All right, Jordan, earlier you mentioned you're going to be going on a bulking cycle. You hope to gain about 20 pounds.
Yep.
And I know a lot of that's going to have to do with your diet.
Absolutely.
But taking Prohormones, and I know it's probably a little bit different with each one, but how much can people expect, of lean muscle to gain from, say, an 8-week cycle?
So an 8-week cycle, again, it's going to be, each individual person. From me personally, I can put on weight really easily. It's very easy for me to gain weight. But
Because he's so damn young, that's why. It's so much easier than.
yeah, no, like
I just put on the bad weight. You know, he puts on the good weight.
yeah, no, I have to stay. That's one thing I have to pay attention is my diet, because if I tend to eat a little bit dirtier than normal, I will put on more body fat. So I have to stay very clean. Lean meats, good source carbohydrates. So, you know, a typical, maybe the Prohormone stack, you know, in 8 weeks, I might gain anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds. My goal is 20, which is why my bulk is going to go a little bit further than 8 weeks, absolutely, but I might gain anywhere from, you know, 5 to 10 pounds. How much of that is lean muscle? I would definitely say, you know, in the range of 5 pounds for sure.
Yep.
You know, muscle does take time. Don't expect to put, you know, 5 or 6 pounds each week. If you're doing that, you might be putting on a little bit more body fat than muscle.
Water.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, because I do think, you know, talking to people, a lot of, especially beginners, expect, I think, steroid type gains.
Sure.
You know, like, hey, I want to gain 20 pounds of lean muscle,
Yeah.
you know, in 8 weeks. I mean, that's almost impossible, I would imagine,
it's
on these
hard.
pro
Yeah.
hormones.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely. The average person in a year, I think, puts on like 6 pounds of muscle naturally.
Yeah.
So obviously, slight bits of enhancement can definitely help out. Now, you know, obviously, definitely don't recommend, but steroids take you to the next level. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. But I mean, they also have so many side effects to them. Whereas like pro hormones, at least you know that it is a safer route, and you are getting that slight bit more of an enhancement to them compared to, you know, anything else, or just doing it naturally, sort of say. But if you do want that extra edge that you can get over the counter, I mean, pro hormones would be your best bet.
Okay. This is a common question we get, is Osta-Plex. It's kind of marketed as a P-Sarm. You know, why is it called that? I mean, what's the similarity there?
So nandrolone, which is 19-nor, which is what it was the main ingredient in Osta-Plex, has SARM-like properties. So technically speaking, it can actually bind to certain androgen receptors in the body, but doesn't give you any full-on like conversion or anything like that, like actual SARMs do. And then you have the eucomia in there as well. And eucomia is actually, again, a natural substance that actually helps with opening up your androgen receptors to allow other active ingredients to actually get into them to be able to help, again, boost up nitrogen retention in the body, boost up oxygen retention in the body. So that's why they call it the P-Sarm, as Jeff just said, because it has very, very SARM-like properties, but it isn't exactly a SARM. So.
Okay. Okay, so this is kind of an in-depth question. I'll try to, hopefully you guys know a little bit about maca and fenugreek.
Fenugreek, yeah.
Okay, so this person, I'm going to try to read it out here. Using maca or fenugreek while utilizing a prohormone such as 1-testosterone, are there any sort of contradictions for what you are trying to accomplish, as maca and fenugreek seek to balance the levels? Or would it be best to utilize these in conjunction with ashwagandha after your cycle?
I would say keep them for after your cycle, or take them during, to be honest. I mean, it's really up to you. So, I mean, you kind of play around with it and kind of see how it best works for you.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, though, I mean, again, if you're taking the 1-testosterone, you want to see if you're actually getting the full benefits from that, and then help stabilize your hormones afterwards with the maca, fenugreek, and ashwagandha, or just get a testosterone 21.
Yeah.
You're getting pretty much the whole blend in there.
Yeah. You could even stack the maca with the Test 21, because
Yeah.
maca's very well best known for its, you know, ability to boost libido. That's
Right.
one of the main things it's well, you know, known for.
Yeah. So.
Okay. This is a common question I see a lot. Okay, is it okay to switch to a different prohormone after the 4 weeks, after you're in 4 weeks into a cycle?
If you're keeping it within the same type of like compound, yeah. So if you're going from like one andro to another one andro, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If you're going from one 4-andro to another 4-andro, perfectly fine. If you're switching from a 4-andro to a 1-andro, I guess you could do that, but it's like, what are you trying to get out of it at the end?
Exactly.
So
Yeah, no, I mean, for instance, like a good one, you're taking 1 AD, but you want to boost up a little bit more, you can jump to 1 test because you're going to get a much higher dose. You're taking androdiol, which is a low dose, for andro, but you want to bump it up. Superdrol, Halodrol, Testosterone, that could be something you could do after 4 weeks.
Right.
But yeah, as you said, jumping from a 1 andro to a 4 andro or a 4 andro, 1 andro, I mean, it's not something I would normally recommend. I would definitely stay within that same compound, but at a higher dose.
Yeah.
So probably stick to a 1 test, do your PCT, maybe wait another month, then try like a 4 andro stick.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Let's see. Okay. Which prohormones do not convert to DHT, or which ones do? That's easier.
None.
So it's,
Yeah, none of them are actually going to convert into. None of them are going to have a direct conversion of DHT, basically. Because none of them surpass the androsterone process. So, I mean, and I believe DHT is the last step of a hormone conversion process when it comes down to it. So, yeah, none of them will give you any kind of high conversion to DHT at all, or at all, generally speaking. But yeah, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So, you guys don't have to worry about hair loss or anything like that, too. So, you guys are good to go with that.
Okay, with hair loss, because a lot of people are concerned about hair loss while taking prohormones. Are there any that are worse, and is there anything people should take to just protect themselves against hair loss on cycle?
Again, generally speaking, with hair loss, you need to worry about your DHT levels and your prolactin levels. Taking P5P can definitely help out, which is a form of a B5, I believe.
yeah.
What's it?
P5P.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we sell that product?
Now Foods has one.
Yeah, no,
Now
I think
Foods.
Life Extension has one
Yep.
too.
And life extension, P5P.
P5P,
Yeah.
yep.
Doesn't SNS make one too?
P5P, I think they might actually.
Yeah, no, I think they do.
I think they do.
But yeah, so with the prohormones, again, you don't have to worry about any of that, because it definitely won't raise either one to an extent to where you will start seeing some hair loss.
Yeah.
If you do start seeing hair loss, honestly, 95% of the time it's probably hereditary. So yeah, you should be good on that though.
High Tech has a collagen too.
Yeah,
That could be something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hair, skin, nail protection. Yeah, High Tech is a really good collagen product that I'm a big fan of.
And what about saw palmetto?
Saw palmetto.
Palmetto, yes. I always screw that word
Saw
up. I didn't want to
palmetto.
say it because
Well,
I knew I was going to mess it up.
You're
Saw
getting a good
palmetto.
amount in the Arimiplex. So
Oh, you are,
actually
yeah,
is saw palmetto in there.
yeah.
Yep.
So help keep your prostate healthy, which is a huge factor, especially for men.
Yeah.
Or anybody actually in general, but yeah, no, that so be another healthy product to take as well. So
Okay, so are you considered natural after you take prohormones?
yes. Why? Because these are natural substances that you're taking in. Again, when you take in prohormones, you're not suppressing your body's natural form to create testosterone with a synthetic form.
Yeah.
You're just uprising how much your body's naturally making with a outside source, basically. And it works with almost any other product as well, too. So even like creatine, for example, your body naturally makes a form of creatine. So when you take an outside source, you're just enhancing that amount that your body actually makes. So yeah, you're still considered natty.
Some of these questions that John is sending me.
Oh boy.
Okay, okay, well, we're unfiltered here. You know.
Yeah.
Earmuffs, everybody, if you're young. Can you get Deca-Dick from taking Decabolin?
No.
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 What
no.
is Deca-Dick? For the people that don't know.
So Deca-Dick is when you're taking Deca-Durabolin, the actual steroid itself, and what happens is it actually overpowers the amount of testosterone your body actually makes and ends up giving you a lower amount of oxygen to your buddy down there,
Limp.
and he just stays flaccid more than he stays
Sad day.
full shafted.
Yeah.
All right.
But High Tech Decabolin, no, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you're good.
You'll be fine.
On that note, hey, Chad Madison, give us another giveaway winner for putting people through that. Thank you, Brett Summers, for an order coming through. If you're just joining us, you can go to any one of our websites, use the coupon code PRO20. You'll get 20% off almost everything on the store, and you'll be entered to win a ton of giveaways that we're doing. You'll just get some free shit in your box when we ship
Yeah.
it out. So
But I will say, if you are experiencing that issue, 2 products, Testosterone 21 and high-tech maca. That'll help with that. Libido will be great.
Or Stamina RX.
Stamina RX, yeah.
Very undermined product.
There you go. Can you take those products on? So you can take those products on cycle, or do you wait till after?
I'd say wait till after.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the Test 21 is obviously
Or
something we
it
recommend
just-
for sure, just taking honestly at any time.
Yeah. So if you're just generally feeling that way, that would be a great stack to actually try out and kind of see how it works out for you if you can't get anything elsewhere.
There might be a stack we could build.
Yeah.
Test 21 and maca.
Okay.
Write it down.
All right. Chris Novak, you're the next giveaway winner. Again, you want to enter that. There is right below the video. There's a link to a form. Just send us in a question, and you'll be entered to win numerous giveaways that we're doing. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Is the 19 Nor in Decabolin any different than the one in Trenbolone? I'm not sure if Trenbolone another pro-hormone out there, or...
Well, Tren is...
Well,
Yeah,
I think so. From what I've seen, I think High-Tech's actually changing a lot of their names of their products, and I think one of them is actually it's called Trenbolone. I'm guessing it's the same thing. Yeah, I think they're just changing the names again, but I'm guessing it's the same kind of 19-or in there. If you're talking about actual Tren, definitely not. No, the Nandrolone in that is a lot higher of a concentration. So it's definitely not that.
All right. Hopefully that answers that question. Let's see. Is there anything that you would recommend they get the most out of their pro-hormone cycle? They got their pro-hormones. You know, they're eating pretty well. I mean, is there any type of lifting they should be doing, or sleep-wise? I mean, what do you recommend for maximizing their gains?
Well, the most number one thing is sleep, for sure. Recovery is going to be the most optimal thing. So again, as we mentioned earlier, overtraining is one of the biggest things that can cause you to actually, not recover better, not grow as much. So sleep is going to be huge. I mean, 8 hours is crucial. Not overtraining. You don't need to train 7 days a week. 5 days a week is crucial. I've heard people get away with 4 days a week of training. So rest is crucial. Sleep is crucial for muscle building. Obviously, diet, nutrition, that's going to be, major factor. Pro-hormones are just something that's going to be, supplementing, giving you that extra push.
Right.
But diet, sleep, that's going to be the most important thing as far as recovery, getting the most out of your supplement stack.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I mean, in terms of lifting, though, I mean, obviously, progressive overload, anything to help maximize hypertrophy when it comes to building muscle. Don't let your ego get in the way, because the minute you hurt yourself, these pro-hormones will not save you. But, as Jordan was saying, sleep is very crucial. Pro-hormones were made to supplement your lifestyle, supplement your diet, and everything else you're doing. They're not the magic pills where you take them, you're naturally going to build, 30 pounds of muscle in a whole 8-week cycle. So making sure everything else is on point is definitely key to, maximizing your results.
Yeah.
So
Get sleep. Don't game as much.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 follow-up questions with that. With the sleep, any products that you recommend to help you sleep, recover?
Right off the bat, high-tech Max, one of the very best, sleep products that, we sell here. It's very powerful. So a lot of times what we do recommend, if you've never taken anything like that, a lot of people actually get away with doing, quarter scoops, half scoops of Max because it's so strong. One of the, most biggest ingredients in there, I believe, is phenibut, if I'm correct.
Still the first ingredient, yeah.
So phenibut's very strong for just promoting relaxation, calming. Phenibut's actually well known for reducing anxiety, so stress, getting your body ready for that sleep so you can be in a super deep REM sleep. So you wake up feeling refreshed. I'll tell you personally, I don't even take a full scoop of Max. I think it's way too powerful, and I wake up feeling groggy. So it's, if you've never taken it before and it's, you struggle with sleep or you struggle staying asleep, getting in that deep REM sleep, I would recommend picking up a tub. Start with like a quarter scoop. Take that about a half hour to an hour before you're going to go to bed. You're going to feel it kick in too. You start feeling relaxed. You might get that little tingly feeling that you get. It's going to have things like arginine in there as well, which will help naturally release growth hormone too while you're sleeping. So that'll help with the recovery as well.
I like to actually switch out between a few different products. Actually, Max is actually one of them. Because one thing too with phenibut, your body will actually get really used to it, and you'll want to keep on taking it. That's when you kind of ease off it at a certain point in time. So I'll do like 2 to 3 days of the Max, and then I'll switch over to High-Tech actually has their ashwagandha. I take 1 tablet of that, and then I do. They also make a melatonin, which has an instant release and slow release forms of melatonin in there too. I do half a tablet though, because I don't like taking too much melatonin, and I'll use that combo. And I've been an insomniac since I was 13, so it's been a long time going.
When he's got to come in here early, he looks so tired. It's just. Yeah.
But I will say though, but the quality of my sleep has actually gotten a lot better.
Yes.
So I used to be the type of person where I'd wake up 6 or 7 times in the middle of the night, and sometimes it would take me almost 20 minutes to fall back asleep.
Yeah.
But lately, at most I'll wake up maybe twice, but I'll fall right back asleep right afterwards. So
I think you're he comes in here at 10, but it's and you're wide awake because you usually go to sleep at 1 or 2.
On a good day.
Yeah, so he gets his full, but if we tell him, hey, you got to get in here at 7 or 8, that's a little bit tougher for him. But
throwing another product out there that High Tech makes is valerian root. Valerian root's real good for promoting relaxation. So that's something, if you don't want to take some Automax, High Tech's melatonin, it's a 10 milligram dosage, but I believe it's 3 milligrams of instant release followed by 7 sustained release. So that will keep the melatonin production going, as you are in a sleep. But something that you could take right before bed just to help with the relaxation, valerian root's fantastic for that.
Yeah.
And with all these recommendations, we always want to say, I think I mentioned this earlier, but we're not doctors. We're just, a couple guys that like to lift and know about Prohormones and other supplements. So
lift weights.
if you have, medical questions, always ask your doctor.
Absolutely.
So with the sleep, so is there, we mentioned some Automax, you mentioned some other ones. Is there a stack you guys would recommend that I'm not getting enough sleep, I need to recover more? Out of all those products you guys talked about, is there 1 or 2 that you would say, take these?
I mean, honestly, if you have a lot of trouble sleeping, I would say do the melatonin and half a scoop of some Automax if it's really that bad. If not, you could just take the Automax by itself, or you can try the stack that I do. I do the ashwagandha with half a tablet of the melatonin. I've actually heard a lot of, maybe you can just this as well. I've heard a lot of people say that the Protropin actually helped with their sleep too.
Yeah, it definitely could have. I didn't notice that much because my shoulder was in agony and I slept terribly every night. So, for that whole time, I couldn't tell you. I want to be truthful about it. I'm sure it would, but I would just, my shoulder, it's like no good sleep. So.
Yeah.
Well,
another follow-up question to what you guys talked about earlier. You mentioned that don't overdo it, injure yourself. Okay, say you're 3 weeks in to your Prohormone cycle, you injure yourself, can't lift. Should you continue Prohormone? Should you stop it? And if you stop it, should you jump onto a PCT? Is that required? Or what should you do if you get injured in the middle of your cycle?
I would say stop. The PCT is probably not needed unless you, at a certain point, you start feeling a little terrible. That's not correlated to your injury. If you're just naturally just feeling horrible, you can either take a PCT or just jump on a natural test booster, just kind of take on a daily basis. But yeah, no, I would definitely stop because realistically, what's the point of continuing? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not lifting, if you're not trying to, if you can't maximize your muscle growth, then what's really the point of taking it? You know what I'm saying? Best thing to do would be to stop it until you heal up properly, and then, I would say grab another bottle and continue on afterwards from there. So.
All right. Let's see. As far as your number one, if someone comes in and says, I just want to build lean muscle, each of you, what your opinion, nothing's wrong, I guess. What would you recommend to them? They just want the best bang for their buck, gain as much lean muscle as possible. What maybe stack would you recommend to them?
I'd say the easiest one for me, just a quick, easy lean muscle stack, is one test in Decabolin. I think that's, the easiest, most crucial one. Just, no water retention, no estrogen conversion. They want the best bang for their buck. Those 2 products for just lean muscle mass, nothing bulky. I really like those 2.
I'd say one test in Superdrol. Because you're getting the benefits from the Superdrol to help with the size and the strength, but you're getting the dry aspects of the 1 testosterone and that instant powerful spike of that as well. So that's definitely my go-to.
Okay. All right. Just want to let you guys know we're going to probably be ending it here in like 10 or 15 minutes. Had you guys up here for quite a while now, so we're going to end it around 9 o'clock. So if you do have questions, please make sure put them in the live chat next, right on YouTube, or submit that form. We'll get these last questions answered. I want to try to get any specific questions that you guys have. Shout out to Brian Daniels for placing an order with us. Okay, so what other questions we have here? Okay, so we have a stack on the site called the Edwin cutting stack. Mike had noticed a neurotropic effect from taking Winstrol. Any idea why he would have noticed that, sir? Have you ever heard of that before?
Neurotropic effect? In meaning like?
He said, okay, is this specific to me, or does it enhanced focus part of that compound?
I mean, it could. I mean, anytime. I don't think it was generally from Winstrol alone. It could have been from the combination of everything. Because a lot of times, it's, okay. So one thing, especially with like low T levels, or just generally how you feel. Low T levels will actually cause a lot of brain fog. You won't feel at your optimal level in terms of how you think, how you're feeling, and again, that goes along with how your drive is, day by day as well. So enhancing it like that with an epiandro and then with the 1-testosterone, I definitely don't see why you wouldn't be more wide awake, more sharp-minded, be more focused on things a lot better too. So I mean, I'd say that's a big plus with that one. So,
all right. And John Madison, you can give me another winner, random winner. Okay, what's the difference between Estrogenics Depot and Estrogenics Second Gen, and how do they compare to Arimistane?
One of them actually has Arimistane in it, I believe.
Calling you guys out here on specific ingredients.
Yeah.
Well, so they're not like obviously identical. They share like some.
They're
ingredients.
They're mainly made from herbal
components.
components. Yeah. Whereas Arimistane is an actual Arimistane compound. So I think those are more so made just for just general balance of estrogen. Whereas Arimistane, if you actually are on a pro-hormone cycle or you need something a little bit stronger, you'd go with your Arimistane. So I think that is, I know that's one for sure thing I know is the biggest difference between them. So for people who just take DIM, for example, on a daily basis, you can switch to something like the Estrogenics Depot or the Estrogenics 2.0.
Kind of like a daily, just
daily estrogen metabolizer. Instead of just taking the Arimistane. So
sure.
Okay. Can I cycle my Prohormones year round?
Consistently, no. Again, you definitely want to take breaks.
Yeah.
If you want to do 3 cycles throughout the whole year, yeah, that'd be solid. Or just 2. It's really up to you.
2 on PCT, 2 on PCT, 2
Yeah.
on PCT. Sure. But 12 months out of the year,
No.
taking Superdrol, 1 test, all that stuff, no.
It's very excessive.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got David, DJP4427. I'm not going to say the rest of that email address, but thank you. You're our next random winner. We're going to be sending you some stuff. Do you need a test base with Prohormones?
So a lot of them are test bases. So 1-testosterone, 1-AD, Halodrol, Sesson on 50. Those are all actual test bases.
Yeah.
If they are a direct form of either a 1-andro or a 4-andro, they're considered to be test bases.
All right. That was easy one.
Easy.
Okay. Let's say you want to take Equipoise because it's new, but you don't want to get too hungry. Will taking something like Winstrol or Primobolan balance it out?
I don't necessarily think
think
so.
so.
That compound bolderone is necessarily, going to increase your appetite.
Right.
So, if your goal isn't to put your body in a state where you're wanting to eat excessive amount of calories, maybe avoid that one. Save that for, right around this time,
Bulk
winter.
sign, yeah. Or you can throw in a thermogenic, one of the fat burners, because those are made to suppress appetite.
Throwing a bunch of stimulants.
So that's probably your best choice in terms of balancing appetite.
Yeah.
But like Jordan was saying, if you want to kind of keep that on the side for now and switch to something else, that might be your best choice.
All right. Let's see. If someone, you know, maybe has taken something a little more extreme than Prohormones, and we're going to talk about hair issues here, is there any products you'd recommend? I know we kind of talked about them, but anything to try to get your hair back?
So from everything I've read, unfortunately, you can't regrow hair. You can only keep the follicles your head has naturally and keep them stronger. So like collagen would be a great thing for that. Vitamin C too, actually, because that vitamin C is actually what helps the uptake of collagen.
Yeah. Biotin.
Yeah, biotin. What else? Reducing inflammation can definitely help with that as well. So like turmeric.
Ooh, High-Tech's got a turmeric.
They do.
Fantastic product.
Yeah, no. So I mean, you know, other than that, I mean, when it comes to getting your hair back, I'm sorry, it's gone.
All right.
Sad.
I know there are some things I think we've talked about before, bringing in like Rogaine and a few other. No, I think that's the only one. John knows more about it than I do. What?
We could do it for things popular.
Oh, finasteride?
Finasteride?
I think that's doctor.
Yeah, that is doctor prescribed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. We got about 8 or 9 minutes here, so get your questions in. Jordan, I know you're going on vacation soon.
Yes.
This person says you're preparing for their wedding, and his name is John. What Prohormone stack would you recommend that he can get as ripped as possible for his wedding?
Okay, so Edwin cutting stack. One of the, I would say it's a great. I mean, one test, Deca, Winstrol. Winstrol is going to be crucial if you are trying to shred up those epiandros. If you are trying to, again, reduce as much water retention and burn as much body fat, an epiandro is going to be great for that. And then throwing something like a 1-andro with that 1 testosterone, building lean muscle, and then the Decabolin. And yeah, no, I mean, if your wedding is approaching, you'd probably throw a thermogenic in there as well. Increase your cardio up because you're in a way wanting to burn as much body fat as well. I would probably, depending on your stimulant tolerance, I like Lipodrine. I like Lipodrine hardcore if I want something stronger. But the standard Lipodrine always works perfect for me.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, with the winter coming, at least where we are, it's getting colder.
Already.
Is there any Prohormone that you recommend adding to a stack, or are there any Prohormones that are less harsh on the joints or help with joints?
4-andros.
Yeah, 4-andros. The water, yeah.
Yeah, any wet compound. So like I said earlier, when it comes down to it, I mean that the water retention you're getting from it will definitely help when it comes to lubricating your joints to make sure that you're not like injuring yourself in any kind of way when you're lifting heavier. You are able to lift heavier without inflaming anything as well too. So yeah, definitely any of the 4-andros.
Equipoise, Anavar. No, I might share my results after 8 weeks, and maybe we
Okay.
can change the name on the site to my put my name on it.
We'll
How
get a
about that?
Jordan stack on
There
there.
we go. Jordan bulking stack.
Yes.
Give you some feedback on that.
Okay, let's say you're taking Prohormone. Say they're on a cutting cycle. Any non-Prohormone products you guys recommend for joints?
Joints. Yeah, turmeric. The Super Cissus is fantastic also. Collagen from High-Tech.
Yeah. Hyaluronic acid, that's
Yeah.
good. That'll help lubricate the joints. Yeah, turmeric would be really good if you're having like inflammation issues. Cissus, I mean, that's something that I've taken before that worked really well. But yeah, turmeric was something that I really liked.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure if we can answer this or not. Can people take finasteride or minoxidil with Prohormones?
Well,
Again, we're not doctors. This is just opinions.
Yeah. I don't see why not. They don't really they don't contradict each other in terms of like anything like that. So yeah, realistically speaking, I don't see why not. But you might want to watch your mood with the finasteride. But I mean,
All right.
other than that,
Okay, shout out to David Perlin, Adam Sather for their orders. Again, till midnight, you can use the coupon code PRO20. You get 20% off almost everything. Plus, you're going to be thrown into a big giveaway pile that we got going on in the back here. I know we talked about a lot of different products. Can you give us a breakdown of what Dianabol is, why you should use Dianabol?
Dynamo is a huge blend. So I know Dynamo has the 4-andro in there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you also get a small amount of turkesterone in there too.
There is turkesterone.
Yeah. You get the turkesterone in there.
It's got a lot of herbal.
It does have a lot of herbal
type
stuff in there too.
Supplements too. That's one that I know also will increase the appetite. In the body.
I will say I've actually tried Dynabol, and that was one thing with me. Like I was getting kind of irritated too. Actually, I kept flattening out during my workouts, and I was wondering why. And then I would find myself getting excessively hungry during my workouts, which normally doesn't happen with me. I normally like right after my workout, especially, I have no appetite at all. But I found out with Dynabol, like literally middle of my workout, I would be starving, and I would eat like 30 minutes prior to my workout. And you've seen my food.
Yep.
So
I have.
So I will say that is another one that can definitely help with increasing appetite. So especially for bulking status, that would definitely help out. So
Okay. And another specific question, Decabolin. We kind of market it as a stackable product, and I think High Tech talks about it that way. What are your thoughts on Decabolin, taking it alone, or should it always be taken with something else?
if it's considered a stackable product, I would say do as they say, definitely stack it.
For sure.
Because it's not going to be as strong by itself. And that's actually one thing I say all the damn time, to be honest. When it comes down to it, every prohormone works fantastic by itself, but when you actually stack it with another prohormone, it works that much better. Because now you have both of them correlating together, and having the effects of both of them doing and hitting certain receptors in the body can help you optimize the results, get you where you want a bit quicker, which what a majority of you guys want anyway. So yeah, definitely stacking them helps a lot more than just taking it by itself.
Okay, perfect. Can you take Viagra with prohormones?
Absolutely, go for it.
Sure, why not?
We're not doctors again.
That'd
Yeah.
be the sickest pump.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
These guys. See that? You're gonna use that for the pump.
blood
huh?
flow.
Yeah. Pump all over, right?
All over.
Oh my God. Okay. We're gonna end with that question, but going on in the future again. We got a lot of questions come in. We recorded all the names for the random giveaways. We'll be emailing you for addresses. John and Madison are going to go through, maybe pick out a few of their favorite questions. We'll reach out to you. We're going to throw you guys some free stuff as well. For the people that are placing orders, again, go to our website. You got until midnight Central Time. You can use the coupon code PRO20. You'll get 20% off almost everything. Plus, you'll be entered into some giveaways. We really hope you like this. This was mainly focused around YouTube. If there's other streaming platforms you'd like to see us on, or you'd rather see us on, please reach out to us. Shoot us an email, chat with us, whatever you like, because we'd like to do this more often for you guys. But overall, I really want to thank both of you. Again, this is Jordan and Edwin. They're here all the time. They answer tons of your questions. So hopefully, going forward, if you got more questions, you can ask them. Hope to have you guys back on doing a live show
absolutely.
Yeah,
again.
it was a good
Chat
time.
as well during the week.
Yep. Yeah, you can jump on chat as well.
All you guys can answer questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially Edwin handles a lot of the chats during the week. So if you got specific questions, you like what he said, you can chat with him. If you don't like what he said, you can chat with Jordan.
Yeah, you can give me a call.
Yes.
Call and ask for me. I got a phone right by my desk, so.
Exactly.
I don't. I'm
And
We'll
Jordan
get
and
you a phone.
Madison love answering questions as well.
Yeah,
So we want to thank
absolutely.
them for managing all that stuff.
You can call
But-
and ask for John.
Yeah.
He loves answering phones.
Yes. Yes, John is great with the sex questions. So if you want anything from that, you can ask John. But overall, guys, really appreciate you staying up late with us tonight and sending in these questions. This was a great time. And again, shop with us at BestPriceNutrition.com, SupplementWarehouse.com, or MySupplementStore.com. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you at the
Yeah,
next
thanks for
live
coming out.
show. Guys, that was great.
Yep, that went good.
Yep.